doormat mom. Exposed her on TikTok and it made her quite popular with reactions to her videos. It was a huge domino effect, and I don't want her to be attacked, but I want to talk about the narcissistic personality disorder that I cannot diagnose her with because I'm not a professional, but it's very obvious that she has. Allegedly, because again, I'm not a professional. In a nutshell, she talks about how she's a doormat to her adult children to the point that she is now estranged from them and they won't speak to her. I'll let you look at one of her videos for yourself to see if you can tell who the problem is.
So your estranged adult child is invited to the same get-together as you are. And when he walks in the room and approaches you, he addresses you by your first name. What would you do?
Scandal.
I know what I would do.
What would you do?
I'd probably naturally look at him and then simply disregard what he had said.
Okay.
Because frankly, I think everyone in that room now understands the problem. Come on.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's just say that her son is a little extra. Let's say that she never did anything wrong as a mother and he just wants to come in and address her as her first name. Let's say it's Linda. Hello, Linda. If you were an adult and a mother, you would be at a little bit of a higher ground than that, right? Wouldn't you just respond like, oh, hi, Frank. How are you? Not scoff and know that everyone else in the room sees that he's now the problem. Everyone knows Frank's the problem. Frank's no adult. That's no adult. To me, it seems like her response is the one that isn't very adult. But let's keep going.
They only get angry because the truth you speak contradicts the lie they live.
Pretty sure if my mom was on the internet saying that I was a POS and I lived a lie and I got angry because of her and I was just such a narcissist that I was estranged from her and it wasn't her fault at all, I would be a little perturbed as well. But the fact that she's going online and then using this guy to back up her narrative is kind of out there. Especially since this is Logan Cohen, a therapist, who is saying these things not to back up a narcissist, but is being used by the narcissist in her video. Logan, if you ever see this, I'm really sorry about the screenshot. I didn't mean to do this to you, bro. A video about Narcissist Mom got over 2.5 million views and it's still going. A lot of people related. Oh my God, I thought I was the only one who deals with this. It's a very triggering account for those who grew up with a parent like this. I sprinted to make sure that it wasn't my mother and I was immediately reminded why I don't talk to my mother, because they all have these traits when they're narcissists and they blame their kids for their kids wanting to be estranged from them. Haven't spoken to my father in almost 30 years. There is a reason. It's him. Sounds like my mom. My father, who physically and verbally abused me my entire life, genuinely doesn't understand why I'm no contact with him and blames my husband. Is it my mom? Sounds like it. I had a narcissistic mother turn her entire family against me. I will never understand how people can be so blindly loyal to poisonous people. Not me running to the page to see if it was my own mother. As you can see, her videos are getting a lot of views. This one has almost 1 million, but if you look at the video, it's not getting the likes that you would think would happen on a video with 1 million views. This video with 1 million views only has 1,400 likes, and then the comments is over 2,000. That's a problem. I'm sure you can assume that these comments are chastising her, basically, and telling her to kick rocks. And they're not liking it because they don't like the video. She's responding to a comment which says, I need more information. Just this video alone makes me think she, as in this woman's daughter, probably made the correct choice. And listen to what she says in response.
Well, you keyboard warriors are working overtime now, aren't you? This comment here, though, this I respect. Because she's right. I haven't shared my story. And I haven't because I had to get through a very painful moment in it before I felt ready to do so. And I did that last weekend. Okay. So now I'm ready to share. But as a writer, my most effective means of communication is by writing. So I put my story here. if you legitimately want to know my story and why I began Doormat Mom.
Wait, didn't she just say this was such a traumatic moment that she had to work through it and she finally did last weekend? So now she can write it down. If it was last weekend, then how is the book already published? What are you talking about, Doormat Mom? The math is not mathing. And on top of that, how narcissistic would you have to be to write your experience on your own children, who people in your life know exactly who you are and who your kids are, right? Like, the word's gonna get around. What kind of narcissist would get on the internet and do all of these things? Like, she's got over 15,000 followers at this point, and then write a book and publish it about her experiences with her children being estranged and how awful they are to her because of that. I still want to know how she got a book published in less than a week after writing it. Okay, Doormat Mom.
I welcome you to read it. And you'll understand why these comments that these keyboard warriors are leaving, they don't faze me.
Just put your story on the internet.
For everyone else who chooses just to troll for the sake of trolling.
No, we're trolling because you
Thank
don't
you.
get it.
Thank you for legitimizing what I'm doing here.
No, they're delegitimizing it.
And, by the way,
Well,
I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X.
okay, she says she's Gen X. We're just not going to comment on that, Doormat Mom. She's also claiming that her Facebook group gets 100 to 200 new membership requests a day. And it is because of my viral video that moved everyone to go visit her page. Disproportionately give a view to like to comment ratio. That if you just use your noggin can tell exactly what people's sentiments are just by looking at the reactions here. If she's trying to say that these 100 to 200 new membership requests a day on her Facebook group are people who legitimately want to be a part of that group, she is mistaken. I fully believe that there are people that are requesting this because they just want to see what she's saying in the group. They're interested in the tea. They're not interested in being a part of the group. That's the delusion behind these narcissistic parents. Just the very fact that she's embarrassing her kids online just to sell a book too is just proving how narcissistic she really is. What person in their right mind would do something like this? She's giving us all the evidence that we need to be on her kid's side at this point. So many people relate to this. This is not just about Doormat Mom. This is about all of our parents. By the way, if you relate to this, let me know in the comments. And also like and subscribe if you haven't already. So many people relate to this narcissistic abuse. This is why a lot of people don't even go home for the holidays to visit their families anymore, because they're adults now and they don't want to be the scapegoat that they were when they were little kids. It's weird to live your own independent life as an adult and then go back to see your family and they treat you just how they did when you were 9 years old. And not in a good way, in a scapegoat way. And some of these parents are really terrible. My mother-in-law told my husband the other day that she thought when she had kids that they would love and worship her unconditionally. But all of her kids hate her. So she regrets ever having them. She told him that. Instead of thinking, why do my kids hate me? You're gonna write a book about how sad you are about it and how they treat you so poorly and you're not going to take it anymore. It's truly an epidemic. This therapist commented and said, I get confused at the disconnect on some parents as the victim of a relationship that is inherently based on them from the beginning. That's right. You set the tone of your relationship with these little tiny babies that you literally are forming into adults. It's literally based on how you are that nurtures them into the person that they become. Of course, there is nature involved. There is some level of their DNA having to do with their personality, right? That has nothing to do with you. But moreover, it's a lot about the nurture part. If something has gone awry in the nurture part, then it's on you as the parent. My mother to a T, poor her, the consummate martyr and victim in every situation. Moving far away was the best move for peace ever. My mother told me that I have hated her since I was an infant. Listen to this. Her mother looked at her as a baby and said, "That baby hates me. I don't like that baby anymore." And then someone comments on it, "I just realized my stepmom said the same thing. I apparently gave her an evil look from a high chair. And she decided that, like, that baby hates me. I don't like that baby anymore." For real. The baby gives you a dirty look and you're going to be like, "From henceforth, we are mortal enemies. I'm going to write a book about my experiences. I'm going to reference therapists for my own personal narrative, even though I am the opposite of the person that they were talking about in their video." It's absolutely wild. But the saddest part of it all is that it's not just the parent that ends up alone, it's also the kid as well. You think that kids want to be without family? You think that anyone wants to be from a narcissistic, abusive family? No, no one wants to feel like this. This is just not a good look all around. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tea. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on this. And let me know what you think about the video, even if you don't have narcissistic parents. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.